Samsung Galaxy S24 Ultra review. All that and AI, the Galaxy S24 is packed with top-tier hardware, but its highly touted AI features are hit or miss, and the price is higher than the Galaxy S24 Ultra is a hell of a phone. As always, Samsung has jammed it full of more high-end hardware than you can shake an S Pen at, and this year it's also packed with cutting-edge AI features. But it's expensive, and most of my favorite things about it have very little to do with the eye parts, which aren't even exclusive to the Ultra. It comes with a display that's so easy to use outside in bright light that I want every other manufacturer to copy it. Its camera system is one of the best in the game and comes with a fantastic portrait mode. The built-in stylus remains one of the nicest and fanciest ways to make a grocery list. Some of the AI features really are impressive. Live translation for phone calls could be really helpful for someone who makes a lot of calls in an unfamiliar language. Voice recording summaries are surprisingly good and give my beloved Pixel recorder a real run for its money. And turning any video into slow motion is just plain fun. Are the results always great? No, but they're usually delightful. But battery performance is just okay. And while I appreciate the new flat screen design, it leaves some sharp corners that can be uncomfortable in your hand. Above all, the Ultra is expensive. Now starting at $1,299, a $100 increase from last year's model. Samsung's everything, but the kitchen sink device is still the most feature-packed phone money can buy. But I'm just not seeing an extra $100 worth of improvements, especially considering that the AI features will all be ported to the S23 series in a future software update. Display, battery, and performance. Ever try to use your phone in direct sunlight and find it turns into a mirror? Reflections bounce right off the glass, and whatever you were trying to look at is suddenly invisible. It's a real pain in the buns, although it's been less of a problem as OLED screens have gotten brighter over the past few years. The S24 Ultra goes an extra step and introduces a new anti-glare coating that does a fantastic job of cutting those reflections down. The 6.8-inch screen peaks at 2600 nits in bright light, which makes a real difference when you use your phone outside. I prepared myself to squint at the display when I used it in some bright sunshine, so it was a real treat to realize I could see the screen almost as well as I could indoors. There's a new Gorilla Glass armor protecting the screen, and it purports to be much more scratch-resistant than previous versions of Gorilla Glass. It's hard to judge that in just over a week of testing, but so far, so good. Samsung followed Apple's lead on another screen feature, dimming the wallpaper on the always-on display. You can also add a handful of widgets that will continue to display on the AOD even with the phone lock. It's a straight-up Apple clone, and I have zero problems with that because I crave information and love widgets. Answering what's next on my calendar is as simple as glancing at my phone screen. The always-on display is handy, but it does seem to take a significant toll on battery performance. At the end of each day I tested it, diagnostics reported that it was responsible for about 7% of my battery use throughout the day. Overall battery life on the S24 Ultra isn't great, but it's not a disaster by any means. On days of light use, I got to bedtime with around 50% in the tank. Heavier days with closer to 5 hours of screen on time pushed my review units, battery down to 30%. Honestly, that's about average for a flagship phone these days, and I wish performance were a little better across the board. In any case, plenty of people will get through a full day on the S24 Ultra just fine, though it's worth remembering your mileage will dwindle over time as the battery ages. If you're a power user, as I suspect a lot of people interested in this phone are, you might need an afternoon recharge to avoid late-day battery anxiety. There's 45U wired and 15 wireless QI charging available, but no Kiwo, which is a real disappointment. If you want to live the MagSafe life with the S24 Ultra, you'll need to pick up a third-party magnet case. Just don't use the stylus with a magnetic accessory attached and a MagSafe-compatible not MagSafe or Q charger. The S24 Ultra comes equipped with the Snapdragon 8 Gen 3 chipset, no matter where you buy it. Not true of the standard S24 and S24 Plus, which come with Exynos chips outside of the US. I can't find anything wrong with performance on the Ultra. It didn't get excessively hot in my testing, and with 12 GB of RAM, it handled everything I threw at it without a problem. The S24 Ultra is the first Ultra with a flat screen, and I appreciate it. No longer do I fear running the S Pen over the curved edge. The titanium exterior finish is lovely, but this remains an unapologetically big, heavy phone. After the first few times, it slipped out of the pocket of my joggers and onto the wood floor with a thud heard round the house. I quit carrying it around with me and left it on the dining room table. Also, this phone is kind of sharp. The corners where the flat parts of the phone meet the curved edges are pointy, and if you don't get it situated in your hand just right, they're pretty uncomfortable. I'm not a case person, but I might consider one with this S24 Ultra for this reason.